Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. This is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. And I want to do that through consistency and discipline. I want to thank everybody that's either liked, commented, or even subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it. This page truly is, or this channel really is around just holding me accountable, but I understand, recognize, and really appreciate the community of support. So anyone who's decided to take this journey with me, thank you, thank you, thank you. So today I am here to do a weekly check-in for this midweek kind of period in between paychecks. I am a cashless budgeter for the most part, but every now and then I might have some cash in my pocket, which I did. This past week I had $20 in cash. And so with that, I actually ended up buying some Klondike bars for me and my youngest. And I had $15 left over out of the 20. So I did go ahead and put the $5 in here into my savings jar so that I have that for later. And it just brought about a different idea now around whether or not I have any cash at all. So we'll talk about that in a moment because I think I am making a change around that piece. So with that said, oh, and also I did have a little bit of change, so I put that change in here. And I don't know if I mentioned this, I think I did. I found these towers on Amazon for $9.99, and these little stickers, of course, either at Dollar Tree or Dollar General. And I made one of these towers. I've seen money towers that some people sell. I just can't afford to spend $25, $30 for that. But I did find this, and I was able to make one for myself. Also, let me go ahead and look real quick. So this is even though I am a digital budgeter, I do use paper and pen as far as my planning is concerned for everything else. So for my no spend days, I have 3 so far. Usually by now I like to have 5. So I am behind, but I just need to make up and get to 10 by the end of September. And here what you'll see is these are the things that are exceptions that I don't count as far as when it comes to no spend. So anything for my business, anytime I use a sinking fund, anything medical at all, I don't count it in my no spend. And then of course, bills are not counted in my no spend either. It's mainly for, or just for variable expenses. So that's it for that. What's next? Okay, so next, if you guys see here, this is a tracker that I actually developed myself. So I was using a money tracker from Ask Me How I Budget. She is a Velocity banking budgeter, and she had these forms that were free, and I used it for a few weeks. I really liked the design of it and how she had the variable expenses. She tracks them every week. She does do the itemized, and then she looks at her numbers together along with the bills. Also, the form itself, though, it was a little bit busier, and it was just stark white and just white paper, black lines. And I realized I don't need to do double tracking as far as my bills are concerned. So I went on Canva, found a template for expense tracking, changed it up a little bit to meet my needs. And then I ran into Planning Serenity around being able to excuse me, plan out your digital planner and adding stickers and, designing it and decorating it and making it your own. And so, I definitely want to be like her when I grow up, because she has very elaborate spreads. If you haven't seen her before, please go over and check her out, her YouTube page, as well as her Instagram page, Planning Serenity. And she has not just for digital budgeters, but if you look back in her history as far as YouTube channel is concerned, she does have things for paper and pen as well. And you might find benefit or some inspiration in that. So that's where you see all of the flowers and the colors and all in the quotes, etc. That's who kind of inspired that, so that I could make it look pretty. And I do find that I want to use it more because it is cute to look at. So there you go. All right, so we will get into our expenses for this past week. I gave myself $370. We'll see how well I planned against that. You'll notice here, you see I have categories, and the categories do have colors associated with those. Those colors match up with my colors on my expense cards that I use. You can see those. So they all match up together, and that made it easy for me to document all of this down and where the money was spent, which is what I did. And so you'll notice there's a lot of purple here. That's because I've taken on more days. I've taken on all the days. Let's just keep it real, for my groceries and other things as well. At one time, my friend was covering some of those costs, and he was buying groceries and I was buying groceries. That's going to be different now, and going forward, I'll be buying all of those groceries for myself. So that came as a surprise here, and you'll notice that change down here where I definitely went to the grocery store more often than not. I only, though, went dining out a couple of times, which was really good for me. I don't know how these amounts will add up, but didn't eat out as much, went to the grocery store more, and was cooking. So we'll see some adjustments that will be made on next week, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. So let's start with groceries. So groceries are 21, 72, 7, 41, 15, and that's $156. So 156. I only gave myself $100, so I am over by 56. And let me see if I can get in a little tighter. There you go. Put that there and that there so you can see a little bit better. All right, next is gas, and gas is only one expense. Green, 39. So 60 minus 39 equals 21. So I'm in the positive $21 on that one. Next is dining. Dining has 20 and 16 and 25, $61. So I'm only over by $1. That's not too bad. There's no entertainment at all here, so that's positive 15. Home, only one expense for home in yellow. Oh, well, no, sorry about that. I hope y'all okay. All right, I don't know what happened. I guess my post was acting a little funny, so I'm sorry about that. Let me move this over. I'm trying to look at my adjustment that I need to make. Okay, let's do right there. Okay, so what was I doing? Home. Home, one expense, 48. So I am 2 in the positive on that one. Personal. Spent a little bit more on personal than I have in the last couple of weeks, which is interesting because I just bumped that down. So it's 21. So I may need to bump it back up. And so that's a -6. So I'm over budget by $6. Shopping. Where is shopping? Only one expense for shopping, $12. 40 minus 12 is 28. So I'm 28 in the positive on that. Good. And then miscellaneous is one expense, 50. And I had to help my friend with some boarding for Xerxes. So that was unexpected, but it's all good. I'm glad I could. So we're good on that. All right, so let's add up these amounts. So that's 156, 39, 61, 48, 21, 12, and 50 is 387. Okay, and then let's make sure that this is the same. So it's easier for me to start with a positive number just with this calculator because I don't know what I'm doing. So let's start with the positive of 21, and then we'll do a minus 56, a minus 1, a plus 15, plus 2, minus 6, plus 28, and a minus 20 equal negative 17. And that's right. 370 minus 387 equals a negative 17. All right, so that's what it looks like for this week. So I definitely went over with groceries by a lot, but that won't be the case going forward because I am going to make an adjustment there. And then dining, I didn't do too bad. Gas, I'm constantly coming under. I'm not using entertainment at all. Everything else is kind of on par. This miscellaneous caught me off guard a little bit, but that's okay. You'll also notice here that you saw one for Walmart down here at the bottom for $8 for, and I have sinking fund there because it was for meds. And remember, I don't count that as far as the variable expenses are concerned. So you don't have that factored into any numbers here. I do need to track it because it is money spent, but I don't have it as a part of the variable expenses. All right, so let's look at my expense tracker. So this is my expense tracker for next week. Yes, I'm going blue, honey. But let's talk about the amounts that I have. So here you go. Groceries. I have to bump groceries up to $125 to cover now the cost of having to buy additional groceries for 3 days for the week. So pretty much for the whole week, I need to take care of it. Now, this might go up a little bit more, but I'm starting at $125 and we'll see how we do. Next was gas. I brought gas down from $60 to $50. I have not spent $60 yet since I've had my new vehicle. I moved up from $40 to $60 because I felt like I was going to need more. I have needed more gas, but not to the point of using $60 a week. So I feel like I can comfortably move that down to $50 and we should be good. I'm leaving dining right where it is at $60. I've not spent entertainment in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but hey, we might want to go to a movie or something. So I'm going to leave that at $15. Home, I brought that down from $50 to $30 because I don't have to cover all of Xerxes' expenses. And so definitely can bring that down comfortably. And then personal, I did bump that up by $5 because it was at $20. I brought it down to $15 and then I spent $20 for 2 weeks. So I'm bringing it back up to $20. I flip-flopped these numbers. So at one time shopping had $40 and miscellaneous had $30. I'm flip-flopping those numbers and there's a reason why. So by flip-flopping those, my miscellaneous is now going to be cash. So I went to the bank, got $40 out, and I have it here in my mini wallet. And so any money that's left over from that, from the spending that I do for miscellaneous, whether I spend it all or I spend some of it, doesn't matter. If there's anything left over, it's going to go in my savings jar. Okay. And that's what I'm going to use for savings challenges later on. So that's the way I'm going to handle that. My total is still $370. So one of the things for me is that I've got to get better at not tracking my variable expenses. I'm doing good at that, but holding myself accountable to this number. So I've moved this number up once. I went from $335 to $370 after I tracked all of my expenses for the month of August. That felt reasonable. It felt like something that I needed to do to account for all of these things that I need to do in life, period. But I went to do the same thing again. So this past week, looking at my numbers, I'm like, I went over again. Maybe I need to bump it up to 400. No, Monique, you don't. You need to adjust these so that you can meet the $370 threshold, period, for each week. So that's why I added more to groceries, but what did I need to cut out of to make sure to accommodate for that so that that $370 doesn't change? And that's where I'm holding myself accountable now. Instead of just adding 2 groceries and then bumping this up to $400, I am keeping it at $370 and I'm trying to adjust in there. So we will see how this ends up, but that's kind of where I am now. Thank you all for listening to me rant and rave. Thanks to Planning Serenity for the idea around doing some type of spread for these. It really does make a difference. So I appreciate everybody. Thanks for your time. You guys have a good one.